Say hello to Instagram audience. Hello, my friends. Long time. Almost 7 months, I think, or 8 months. So we run our prep course with a beautiful, wonderful international group, and we decided to go live on Instagram. So we will be doing now Veneer lay preparations on the lower jaw. Okay, so my friends, right now we will change our protocol because all this time that we were prepping veneers, crowns, frontal teeth, some overlays, we used the protocol for beginner, 4 steps, but step 1 was pretty long, right? So now we will do a little bit more experienced thing. Our preparation for step 1 will be almost 80% of the time, and everything will be done on step 1. So we have to be very careful with angles. I checked your prep, so now I see that the angulations are better and better. So we will do that. And we will simulate situation when patient doesn't have any caries defects, because caries defects as MOD we have already made on upper jaw. Upper first molar and upper second molar was done as MOD and overlay and veneer lay. But now it's time to do some kind of aesthetic-based preparations or functional-based preparations. Like patient has tooth wear, for example, and you do full mouth rehabilitation. You raise vertical dimension of occlusion, okay? And in this case, you will have to deal with the occlusal surface. And for example, patient wants teeth to be more whiter. So in that case, you will have to go for buccal side also. And patient doesn't have caries. So in that cases, we don't need to open interproximal contacts. Okay, what kind of indications also we can have for that type of preparation when you have to cover the whole occlusal surface and buccal side? When you do preparations on lower teeth, especially lower second premolar, and second lower premolar has pretty same length of vestibular and lingual cusps. Okay, and imagine if patient has a 3.5 color of existing color, initial color of the teeth, and patient wants to have BL3. And if you will just do veneer, like we did for frontal teeth, occlusal surface will be visible, and your patient will be not very happy. So in that case, unfortunately, we will have to cover occlusal surface as well. Okay, so indications for veneer overlay preparations in caries-free situations is full mouth rehabilitation and aesthetic rehabilitation on lower jaw, exactly for the lower second premolar, because lower first premolar is a little bit different. We'll prep lower second premolar a little bit later after we will finish this lower second premolar. Okay, we prep lower second and lower first will be done later on. So let's start. Step 1, depth cutters. Position of patient's head when you do your lower jaw preparations with direct vision. Now it's opposite. If you remember, for upper jaw, direct vision, chin was where? No, upper jaw, chin up. Chin up, and you can see directly vestibular and occlusal. For the lower jaw, it's opposite, chin goes down. And this is exactly what you can see. You can see buccal side, and you can see occlusal, and also you can see some interproximal. Okay, so this depth cutter, we select this depth cutter according to request from dental technician. And then we go. So yeah, the tip of the bore is 1.5 millimeter, and we are going to use just half of this bore. I will explain you later on why half, not the full. Half of this bore will give you roughly 0.75, 0.8 millimeters. So we go into the central fissure that way. Then we go to the lingual aspect of the occlusal surface. Then you do it same from distal lingual cusp. Now vestibular or buccal side, tip of the vestibular cusp. Then into mesial slope and distal slope. Done. And then we do our vestibular grooves. And since the tooth is pretty short, we can do just 2 grooves instead of 3, because there is no way to do 3. So we go with a 2. Be careful, by the way, look what may happen. When you go more to the adjacent tooth, you will accidentally start prepping interdental papilla. So you have to control not just preparation of the tooth itself, but also where is the papillas and soft tissues as well. Then we take our pencil or marker just to mark these grooves. We go that way. On the occlusal surface, we will get our Union Jack view. Look, like a flag of Great Britain. Now, football board. Okay, football board is very ergonomic for occlusal surface, and with that position, I can really control our lingual aspect of occlusal surface. In this case, we follow cuspal inclination. By the way, it's not the same way of preparation for the occlusal surface as we did for upper first molar, when I said we have to incline our preparation to the lingual or to the buccal side. In this case, we keep our cuspal inclination. If you do not prep adjacent teeth, you need to cover them with the metal bands to protect them against your bore. But when we do full mouth rehab cases, we prep the group of teeth, so that's not a problem at all. Now look, and that's very important. If I will keep the same position of patient as now, I cannot see the cuspal inclination. My handpiece covers my view completely. If I will move board that way, actually I move handpiece that way and have my board that way, I will end up with a very flat and very aggressive preparation of the vestibular cusp. So you have to change position of your patient's head all the time. If you want to see inclination or you want to see any kind of aspect of the surface, you have to find the angle in which you can see that. So in this case, it's like straight position of patient's head. And now I can really see even a little bit more to the left in my case. So yeah, I can really see now cuspal inclination, and I follow cuspal inclination completely. So we go. Be careful with adjacent teeth. I will show you some tricks during step 2, how to avoid these U margins, because you will definitely have U margins in the occlusal surface, especially when interproximal contacts are very plain and high. Now, we're going back with a position of head. So more, in my case, more to the right, chin still down. Board number 16, medium grit, planes. Incisal plane. It's pretty long, so we follow incisal plane like it is. So we go incisal plane, and since we skip to our, let's say, experienced or advanced protocol, at this moment, when you do incisal plane, you also can do that ridge to make it more rounded and to spend less time for step 2 and step 3 and step 4 as well. Then middle plane, and cervical plane, and finally we can do our initial finish line. But be careful with the angles. Again, the important thing is that we prep cervical to get finish line. Okay, that's important. We don't do finish line itself. We do cervical preparation to get our finish line. It's a little bit reverse thinking. So basically it's almost done. You see, it's just some sharp angles that we will correct with the red board. But what I do also, if I need to localize my finish line in sulcus, for example, high smile line of the patient, we have to change the color. I can place retraction cord right now at this moment. So still step 1, I can put retraction cord now, and then I can reposition my finish line bit down. Then aesthetic transition also has to be taken into consideration right now. So I'm doing my aesthetic transition. See, I'm moving my finish line more to the proximal side. Mesial is important. Distal It's not very important on the second premolar, but still. Okay, so you have to take care of distal transition as well. I will do it right now, but you will have to help me what I'm doing wrong. What I'm doing wrong. The angle of the bore. And look, I have already made undercut with this angle. Your answer was so late. Now I have to devitalize the tooth and to do root canal treatment because of you. Yeah, the angle of the bore was not correct. So we go, this is our angle for cervical margins, and then you turn head and piece, and the bore goes, the tip of the bore goes out. So that's the center of the tooth. It goes from inside out, okay, towards the adjacent tooth. It goes this way. Okay, that's good. I will stop at this moment. So basically almost 80% is done, including finish line. During step 2 with the red bore, I will show you how to avoid, or actually how to improve U margins that you will definitely have on occlusal surface, and how to join your cervical and proximal finish lines with occlusal butt joint. This is what we will be doing during step 2 with the high magnification and low speed and the red bore. Okay? Your turn, my friends. And with all Instagram people, we are going to check your preparations. So, my friends, I see a lot of countries. I was not able to check your questions and comments on Instagram because I was very busy with the demonstration. So, yeah, we can go to see how our participants are working, by the way.